You guys have got evidence
Yep.
here from a residence
Yep.
that a lady was complaining about furniture moving around. She came home and there was things all knocked over. The TV was knocked over, and there was no signs of entry. There was no sort of obvious reason.
Yeah.
And so, what type of recorder have you used here?
So we use an Olympus voice recorder,
Okay.
and generally they'll pick up on lower frequency that the human ear doesn't hear.
Yep.
So when we play back, we'll typically get something that wasn't there when we did the recording initially. Not that we heard anyway.
Sure.
So one of these instances was, I'll just play it for you. Now you hear the girl talking, so we filtered that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what was said? I'll play it again.
When I walk into this house, and particularly when I walk past the window, I get chest pains, anxiety.
So that voice that was in the background,
Yeah.
it wasn't there when they did the recording. Yeah.
It's hard for me to tell what it says.
Yeah.
Like,
But
like there, right?
yep, yep. So we'll just, so the video will cut that out a bit. Just play.
It's definitely something there. I just
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
sort of work out off the top of my head what it actually says.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We can't really tell you either, because then it's putting an idea of what it might say already in your head as well. So you've got to kind of decipher it yourself as well. So
Okay, can I
we
look that up to my
kind of
ear?
know what
Most certainly.
what it says.
Just hold the.
Sorry, I'm sort of a Mac guy.
Go the max.
Should just push the space button.
Yeah, I did.
When I walk into this house, and particularly when I walk past the window, I get chest pains, anxiety.
Ah, I can't understand it.
We've listened to it like hundreds of times, and we've like refined it a little bit. This isn't the raw file of it.
Okay.
But I don't know if I want to tell you or not.
I can't say. Can you guys? What do you guys think it says?
Well, I wasn't there that night, so
Okay.
to me,
Did it take you time to sort of work out what you thought it said?
yes and no. So I personally, because I wasn't there, I can't really say if it's paranormal or not.
Okay.
To me, that could be interference from.
Yeah.
There might have been 4 or 5 people there. It could have been interference from anyone else.
Yeah.
But that's the skeptic coming out in me. So, but for people who were there, have a different
Yeah,
thing about it.
because like in hearing that and knowing that the people there were the only people there, and this voice was just a foreign voice that wasn't.
But it
there
sounds
at all.
like an old woman's voice.
Yep, that's exactly what it sounds like. So what I think it says, I'll get ya.
When I walk into this house, and particularly when I walk past the window, I get chest pains, anxiety.
See, yeah.
There. It sound, because I've got like shivers now because it's even got an accent,
Yeah.
like an old British sort of British
Accent, yeah.
accent.
When I walk into this house, and particularly when I walk past the window, I get chest pains, anxiety.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll get you.
And we've been on a couple of cases where stuff like that has been picked up. Like our first actual investigation that we did, there's only me and Brad in the room, and Brad was doing an EVP session, and we listened back to it, and I think because this was we're going back 2010.
Yeah. It's got
So we listened back to it. Brad said, something along the lines of, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And literally within 4 or 5 seconds, it just went,
What?
killer.
Killer?
Yeah.
Ah, geez.
So it was just like, gee, so.
And that's it. Like, we can play these recordings, but unless you're there and you experience that, that's just hearing that secondhand. Like, that, again, everyone can take their own perception of what they hear.
Of course, you're never going to convince someone with that, obviously.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because it's it's such an interpretation.
100%.
Like you saying, I'll get you, okay, I can hear that now, but as we know, that if you suggest to people that we hear something, you can play anything and it sort of works. But before you said any of that, I can hear a voice, what sounds like a groan to me, and go back a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, you can hear a groan, and you can sort of hear that accent. You can hear it's female, a feminine yet groany voice, and Anna, tell me she's not fucking here, because I'm going to rephrase everything I just said. A beautiful woman who was, I'm sure, lovely.
Yeah.
You can understand that she has an accent, that it's not like, was this done around this area?
Up north a little bit more.
Okay, so it's Australian, yet it has an old English sort of twang, if you will, which is even more terrifying. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And I guess to hear that come back. Now, did that play into the feeling that the woman had in that sort of story?
Very much so.
Okay, what?
But there was also, that wasn't the only thing that we got that night as well. There was plenty of other things we got. That was just probably what I consider the highlight of that night in terms of the evidence that we got. There was plenty more recordings that we got, other things that happened, more voices that they heard as well. So I feel like that instance of that case, there was enough activity going on that merited us coming out and doing the investigation. And I would say that probably leaned, as a skeptic, that made me lean a little bit more to the side of being a believer in that instance.
Okay, so
because I take it by a case basis.
Of course.
With that, yeah.